Hi guys, my name is Dayatnyazi and I came up with another course where I'll teach you that how you can upgrade your Vue.js option API to the composition API. So this one is an application which I'm going to upgrade this from option API to the composition API. So let's take a eye on this. There is a register functionality, login functionality, and then dashboard where we will see our login user detail and then a logout functionality. Pretty basic application. I'm going to upgrade this with the step-by-step guide to the option API to the composition API, and how you can pull this, how you can get this application. So just to visit this URL, right, and this one is available on my GitHub repository. I deployed this, and also I have mentioned those steps: composer install, npm run dev, and so on things. Also, if you are not familiar with the option API, you can watch my previous course where I teach. Here I'm explaining that how you can upgrade how you can use Vue.js with the Laravel application, right? So this one is a complete series, right? And then I'm going to upgrade this series to the option API, from option API to the composition API, right? And you can also set up this application. I have set up this for mine, and now I'm going to basically upgrade this whole application, right? So let's get started. First of all, I'm going to implement this register functionality. So let's click on this register. So open your register component here. So let's say resources, views, components, and then here I'm going to call this, I'm going to click on this register, and I'm not going to play with the HTML stuff. I'm going to basically upgrade this using the script, right? And before this, I'm going to run this npm run dev. If I'm changing anything, so it will be reflected, right? Okay, perfect. Now here I want to basically upgrade this overall. This setup, it's contain our data properties, then contains methods, this register method, which is clearing the message, then sending the request, and then the clearing message again, right? So now I'm going to basically define those properties using the composition API. So just to go here, and I'm going to create a script tag here, script, and here in the script I'm going to use a setup, right? Setup, and then I'm going to close this script. So basically whenever we will call this setup, so we don't need to define the setup property and define all of the things inside the setup. So this one is the latest thing which is added, and we don't need to type the boilerplate. So now I'm going to define those data properties. So how to define them? So it's very simple. So just let's say I want to define name. So constant name, and then I'm going to call our ref, which is reactive, right? So here I'm going to initialize it as empty, right? And what is the meaning of reactive? Reactive mean if I'm changing it from somewhere, so it will be updated automatically. Then I'm going to do this for all of the one. Okay, so I updated all of the variables using composition API, and then when I'm using this array, right, so here I also initialize this as an empty array. Perfect. So now we can comment this data property, right? We replace this with this one, and now I want to call this method, right? So in the composition API, you don't need to specify it into the method property, right? We can also do it whatever place we want to place them, so here or maybe bottom, and so on things. So that's very cool, right? I like the way. So in this way we can, let's suppose we have two things in the same component, like user things and then post things. So we can first implement the properties of user, then its methods, then its computed properties, and then we'll start the post methods, and then post to data properties, and then the other stuff like computed and so on things. So that's the beauty of this composition API. Here I'm going to call this register. So how to call this in the composition API? So it's very simple. Just to create a variable like register, and then it's accept as a function, right? something like this, right? So this register will available in all of in our whole component, and in the inside the register I'm going to copy everything, right? Just copy everything, and then just comment this register something like this, and I'm going to paste this out here, paste, and yes, perfectly added. Let me little bit align it, and looks cool, right? Register, we are checking this method and so on things. So in the register now we need to upgrade this keyword, right? So I'll do this in a minute. So we have another method, so let me also do this, right? So just copy internal stuff, and I'm going to create this clear message, right? Similarly we are using this ref, so I'm going to add collapse, and then I'm going to call this clear message, right? And then I'm going to call this as a function, and here I'm going to paste the internal stuff, right? So we have these things, and then I added this. So now I need to update the data properties inside these methods. So just go here, and here we are calling this dot clear message. So in the composition API we don't need to reference this, right? Perfect. And whenever we are calling this name, right, or password, so we don't need to mention this, and if we want to get the value of password, so we can get this using value properties. Just type this value something like this. Also remove this for all of the ones, remove this from everywhere. Okay, I think it's now fine. Just remove this from everywhere and go here and then add the value. Perfect. I did this for all error.value, and almost everything is done. Error.value, name.value, and so on things, right? Everything is modified, and let's give it a save and try it. So let's click on this fake flare Chrome extension to fill the data, and click on this register. And before this, let me do one more thing. I'm using this ref, right? So I need to import this ref here. So import ref from Vue.js. Perfect. Edit this, and now I want to register this. So click on this register, and it says user registered successfully. Perfect. Our component is working perfectly. Oh my god, I forgot to comment this out. Meanwhile, I have commented almost everything. So let me also make this a full comment this out. Everything is commented. I'm going to try it one more time. So just click on this register, and yes, it's registered one more time. So let me give it a refresh and say register, and it's registering perfectly. One thing which is remaining is not the part of composition API. I'm going to clear this form, right? So let me define a new method here, which is constant clear form, and here I'm going to say use this arrow function, and then I'm going to say name.value equal empty, and then so on for all, for the email, for the password. Perfect, we did this for all, and now I want to clear form here. So whenever our request is sent and it's successful, so I want to clear this form. So let's say clear form something like this, okay, using this brackets, and just go here and submit this again, and perfect, our user registered successfully, right? And now I want to improve the other stuff, like how we can implement this login stuff, right? So it's a little bit more challenging, right? And then we need to also do this for overall app, right? App component, right? Which is our root component of this application, right? So it's using these things, and there are token mounted properties and a lot of stuff, right? So I'm going to do these things in the next video. So till then, keep learning and keep exploring.